Welcome back to 0 to 60. Now in today's video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can transform and protect the underside body of your car in 3 simple stages. We're going to be taking it from looking like this, filthy dirty, to looking like pretty much brand new like this. And it's easy peasy. So let's get straight into transforming and protecting the underside body of your car. Before we start, we're going to need to jack up the car. Now, if you don't know how to do this, check out this handy guide to help you do it safely. I'll also leave a link in the description. Now, you can see a lot of the grime that's built up on here. And for the first stage, we're going to be doing the cleaning. And to do that, we're going to have to take off these under trays. Now, not all cars have these under trays, but again, a lot of these cars now do. This particular car, which is a BMW 3 Series, has got lots of them. So we're going to need to take all of those off. We're going to need an 8mm socket for this, a 10mm socket, and a T30 Torx on this particular car. So let's get these off to begin with. So once we've got them off, you're now going to see 10 years of grime on this car that has got under the under trays, and there's plenty of it. So I'm going to flip the car around, jack it up, and take the final under trays off from the bottom of the car. Once we've done that, we can get on to the stage 1 full clean. Now, one thing I do find whenever I'm working on my cars is that you come across these clips quite often and they can easily break. But this simple little tool really does come in handy and stops you from snapping them. Now, they come in a set, plastic ones and this metal one, and you get a load of clips as well. I've found them for about £10, so I'll leave the link in the description. Here you can see now, as the final under tray comes off, just how filthy these really are. And they are disgusting, but we're going to sort that. And we're going to do that by using a wheel cleaner. Now, the best sort you can use for this is a water-based wheel cleaner. Any wheel cleaner will do. Get it in your foam gun, snow foam gun, and simply just spray all over the under trays. Then flip them over and spray the other side. Now, by doing this, it soaks right into all that grime, and because it's an acidic cleaner, it will really work hard for you, and it saves a lot of scrubbing. So again, all the different sides, and then we can move on to the car. Start off by doing inside the wheel arches, and then move yourself under the car and spray from left to right and try and reach as far under the car as you can. And what we're going to do, we're going to move around the car to do this, so we're actually covering as much of the underside as possible, which you can see here. So we're going to be doing one side of the car and then the other side of the car, so we can get a full coverage. And then we're going to move to the back and then over to the front to get as much coverage as we can. And by doing this, we're actually almost cleaning the whole car twice, but I'll get onto that in a minute. Now on for the rinsing. So that's been on for over 5 minutes, so we can get rinsing. And what we do is I use a jet wash, a flat jet wash on this, and I move left to right, up and down, and then the same again. So you're giving it a really good rinse off, and you'll see in a moment just how good cleaning it in this manner works out, because they look absolutely minted. Look at that, literally like brand new from 10 years of crud. Now moving back onto the vehicle, I'm going to change my jet wash lance to the circular motion one. Now The reason I've done this is because it makes it easier to get into the nooks and crannies of the car underneath. Now, it's not necessary. If you haven't got one of these, don't worry, a normal jet wash lance will do fine, but as I say, it does help to get right into the nooks and crannies. But do beware, because they're more powerful than the flat lance, and you don't want to be peeling off any paint. So just bring it back a bit and take it easy when you're doing it. So now we've done that side, I've flipped the car around, jacked it back up, and we're going to continue and do exactly the same thing from the other side of the car, and then rinse. So effectively we're almost cleaning the whole under the side of the car twice, because we're leaning right under and getting right in all the nooks and crannies. And you're going to see now just how clean the bottom of the car actually has come up. Now, I think that's pretty amazing. You can repeat this process if you need to, but in this case we don't. So the next thing is stage 2, where we're going to leave this to dry overnight, ready for protection. Next day later. So as you can see, the under trays are looking like brand new, and the underside of the car is looking so much better. And we're ready now to start looking at protection. So my preferred is Lanoguard. I've been using this for many years now, and it's just the ease of use that I really like about it. Get a bucket, get some hot water in it, and let the Lanoguard sit in there to warm it up, because it makes it 100 times easier to use. You're also going to need a mask for this, and if you prefer, a pair of goggles as well. Now it's warmed up, it comes out nice and easy and sprays on lovely and thin, which is how you want it to come out. And we're simply just going to go around the whole car, spraying in every area that we can to cover and protect. Now, do avoid your brakes and your brake discs, because you don't want this going on there and not being able to stop once you've got the car back together. So do avoid that. I do also advise to avoid the exhaust, because this Lanoguard's got a pretty potent smell to it anyway, and if the car's, you know, heated up and it's on the exhaust, you'll find that it stinks for a lot longer period of time. One of the other great things about Lanoguard is that you don't have to do any treatment before using it, and it will seep into that rust if there is any and get right into the crevices and protect it without anything else needed. And it's really easy to cover all the areas that you need to do. Now, they do different containers for Lanoguard. They do larger containers with a spray and a tube that comes from it, but I've used them in the past. Yeah, they work perfectly well, but I just find it a lot easier with this smaller container to get right under the car and to keep it warm. So that's why I choose to use this smaller container that you can get from them. It will take about 1.5 of these containers that I'm using, so about 750ml roughly, to do the full underside of your car, which isn't a lot at all. As you can see here, we're really trying to get into all of those gaps and spray up and under the car, any part of the chassis you can get to, and really anywhere else. Now, another good thing about this Lanoguard is that you can use it on plastics and you can use it anywhere under the car. So, you know, you haven't got to be too worried about where you're spraying it. Now, this is a top tip. Get yourself a good torch or flashlight, and you can see here, look, there's a bit that I missed, and you can see it so easily when you've got a torch, and you can just pop back in and do the bit that you've missed, or like I say, carry the torch around with you as you're going through, and you can see, I mean, look at that now. It's looking so much better in here, and it's all protected. Lovely job. So we're going to move on around the car and do every little nook and cranny that we can find. So I think Lanoguard's the best for this, but what do you use? Have you used anything better? I'd love to know in the comments. Now let's get these nice clean under trays back on the car and take a look at the finished product. Now I think that's looking pretty amazing. For less than 24 hours, a quick clean, a quick spray, and there we have it. Total transformation of the underbody.